Hi guys, Monica Laurette here with what, if I remember my content correctly, is going to be my first reading vlog. I joined this, not necessarily a challenge, but just a month from somebody that I follow on Bookstagram. It was a February readathon. It's called Smut-a-thon, but it is just reading any romance books, any and all romance books during February. So I have some romance books, some of them probably more smutty than other ones, but the rules is like, as long as it's a romance, you're good. I'm part of a group chat with a lot of people in there reading all different types of romance books with varying degrees of fluff and smut. I'm still reading Fat Chance Charlie Vega. I'm not that much more of the way through from the last video I made talking about how far I was in this book. I'm trying to break out of a reading slump, so I'm hoping that this month can help me with that. And also I started a new class for school. Bunch of excuses, but I will finish Fat Chance Charlie Vega hopefully during this first week of February. Right now it's February 1st. I have 12 books on my shelf that I could read for this month. So what I'm going to do is I just picked 4 of them for right now that I will try and get to, and if I finish those 4, I'll pull out the next 4, but 100% I will not get to all 12 of them. So we'll talk about the first 4 right now, the ones that I want to read during February, and then as I finish each book, I will pop in, obviously it'll be seconds to you, it'll be a month for me, of my thoughts on the books, and granted how many thoughts I can share with you on those books. The first book is actually one that is on my TBR for this year, so that is Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. So let's see if I can finally get to the Brown Sisters trilogy with this month. Next one is If the Shoe Fits by Julie Murphy. This is an adult book that she wrote. I did read last year her YA book, Faith Taking Flight. Was not the biggest fan of it. I loved the fat representation in it. It just may not have been a book for me, so I unhauled that one, but let's see if her Cinderella retelling of a fat girl is gonna be more my style. The next one I remember was marketed, from my understanding, that there was a fat main character, or at least a larger main character. The cover does not show that, so I think I may have either been led on or misread whatever TikTok I watched, but that is Delilah Green Doesn't Care by Ashley Herring Blake. It is a lesbian romance, so that'll be that one for these first books. This one is one that I really wanted to read along with these ones, so that's why it's in the first 4. Now, the 4th book is like a little bit cheating because it's not necessarily like a romance book like these. It is still a book. It's still a novel. It's a graphic novel. It's just not, I guess, clearly defined as a romance. Maybe it is. But it is Fangs by Sarah Anderson, also known as Sarah Scribbles. And this is a graphic novel, I believe, of a werewolf falling in love with a vampire. I'm going to read that as well. And I just think it's a very pretty book. It's like a fabric textured cover with black sprayed edges. So it is a fairly cute little book. So I'm going to include that. Alright, so those are the 4 books I'm going to try and get to this month, and I will see you back with the first one I finish. Hey, so finished my first book of the February Smut-thon, and so the first one I read was Fangs. I don't know if you can hear my sister's music. I read this one pretty quickly, in 16 minutes, if what the Storygraph is telling me is correct from the time that I selected currently reading to finished reading. But I thought this one was really cute. It went by really quick, and I kind of wish I saw a little bit more of their relationship and how it grew, but a solid read. I may just wrap up all the books at the end of this video, like the ones that I read for February, or just save like full kind of review wrap up for wrap up videos of this year. I'm trying to decide if I want to do wrap up videos this year, so we'll see. But now we are going to get to If the Shoe Fits by Julie Murphy after I have some dinner and do some homework for the night. Hi, So it's March 1st and I didn't read any more books. The only books I have read this month were, I finished Fat Chance Charlie Vega, but I'm not including it in this reading challenge because it's a YA book and the romance is not the main focus of this book. It was more coming of age and stuff. So I finished this one, which is great, but I'm not counting it towards the reading challenge. The book that I did read during February that was part of this like romance reading challenge, Fangs by Sarah Anderson. So the author of Sarah Scribbles. Like I mentioned the clip right before this. Just a cute little graphic novel. Yes.
That looks like a comic book.
It is kind of, it is kind of like a comic book, yeah. Yeah, because it has pictures, so it's kind of...
And it has words right there.
Yeah, so it is kind of like a comic book. Yeah. So this is the only one that I read cover to cover for the challenge. Besides Fangs, I started If the Shoe Fits by Julie Murphy. I am only 30 pages in, so really not that much. I don't even know why I didn't read this month. I had so many opportunities to read. I got sucked into TikTok a lot of the times. I don't know. I'm really trying to make it a habit to make reading a larger part like of my life, whether it's reading a little bit every day or at least a certain amount of time each week. So I'm really trying to add that in, but work, life, school, I guess takes me out of it a little bit and doesn't let me read as much as I want to, but we'll see if March is any different. And I was thinking that I might do another reading challenge in March because March is La Francophonie, or French month. I was thinking of reading any of the books that I have that are in French, read those all in March, but from what we can see and how I didn't finish the January pages goal from Storygraph, I didn't read really any of the books I wanted to for this February one. Perhaps month-long reading challenge are just not my bag. I'll just try and see if I can find a reading challenge or make a reading challenge for myself that works better for my reading habits. With trying to make reading a part of like my everyday life, I tried starting a journal where I like made a bunch of different pages. I'm actually very proud of some of the pages that I did in here. Kind of like a bullet journal, but I didn't have one that I wanted to use. I have since purchased a book journal that I will use probably for next year. If you're interested in seeing any of them, let me know. But I have little habit trackers that I made. So these are like little versions of the calendar. And this one here is supposed to be for reading. I have 2 different colors for it. So I have if I just read some pages that day or if I finished a book. And you can see when I finished Fat Chance Charlie Vega, when I finished Fangs, and then 2 other times during the month after finishing Fangs that I actually read. At least I'm brushing my teeth. March is next, so we'll see if I can fill up March's month. Wow, the yellow paper, you can just not see that on camera. We'll see if I can fill up the March reading one a little bit more. I put the other books that I was going to be reading away. I put them on the shelf, so the other ones were gonna be Get a Life, Chloe Brown, so that got put back with just my regular TBR for the year. And then Delilah Green Doesn't Care, put her back on the shelf, but hoping to get to her soon because I know that Ashley Herring Blake has 2 other books that have come out since, and everyone that I know just raves about Delilah Green, so want to try and see that one. But I also have a question for people who have read Delilah Green Doesn't Care, because I feel like I saw a TikTok about it and I've seen like edits on TikTok that one of the characters is supposed to be slightly plus size, like a little bit. She's supposed to be plus size or just larger than straight size, but this cover doesn't say it to me. But I've seen videos and edits where one of the characters, they're using like pictures of plus size like models and actresses to represent that character. So I'm just not sure, and I want to make sure that I don't go into this book with any false perceptions of one of the characters. So if you've read Delilah Green Doesn't Care, and you can let me know if one of the characters is supposed to be plus size, great. If not, I'm just gonna go into the book thinking that she's straight size and just curvy. That was me attempting to do a reading challenge. So if you guys have any suggestions about different reading challenges that I could try to see if they work out for me, or any suggestions that I could add into a reading challenge or to make my own, let me know down in the comments below. But I'll see you guys in my next video. A bientôt!